Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, what's
Another
up?
episode. We
Uh,
back in the building.
we're back in the building. It's Miss Lottie.
And it's Dr. J House Call coming right at you from live in New York.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The 411.
It's crazy where we at right now. We right on Wall Street.
Wow, listen, Dr. J, tell us the significance of the bull behind us.
Listen, there's a
And not the
little
bull that you be talking about. I'm just talking about like the bull
not
behind
that
us.
bullshit.
Not that bullshit.
First, let's get these drinks out the way. What we talking about today? You know, we almost forgot these drinks. I mean, we might be a little tipsy from last night still, you know.
Seriously.
Gotta hit these drinks, you know, but
Yeah.
we got a little right, this is called the morning cappuccino.
Morning cappuccino. That's what's up.
You know what I mean? This is the morning cappuccino martinis, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
A little bit of everything. We know we gotta switch it up every week. So we got the morning cappuccinos right now.
Yeah.
You know, so these are not bad. I mean,
I love a good cappuccino with some
Yeah.
like ice and like vodka, some Tito's.
yeah, you know, we always have the old school bumping in the background.
Yes.
Because you know, we them 90s babies, man. You know, 90s babies. You gotta bring that back, bring that good stuff back. But back to where we're at. Well, we're in Manhattan right now. We're like right 2 streets over from the stock exchange.
Ooh, sounds sexy.
You know, but
I smell money.
you can smell the damn money from here. Listen, the stock exchange is I mean, it's a trillions of dollar business, man. It's just trillions.
So
I mean,
why don't we have some of that?
I don't know. I wish I could get some of that. You know, I mean, there's trillions of money that's traded every single day in the stock market.
That's
Just
amazing.
how much money goes.
And listen, and although we're talking about the stock market, we just want to say we are not experts. Particularly me, I'm still learning about it. Like I have a 403B plan from my full-time job, and I'm learning how much money I'm losing.
Right. And lighten us a little bit on. I mean, me myself, I don't even know what a 403B is a little bit, but
It's like
all
a
I know is it
401k.
sounds like a 403B. It sounds like a breast size or something.
That would be a double D. Thank you very much.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, whatever.
403B is for, I work for a nonprofit organization.
Is it like a 401k?
Yeah, it's like a 401k, but they call it 403B when it's a nonprofit organization.
So the K and the B doesn't mean it's bad, or does the K mean it's flying kites? Your money's flying, or what?
Listen,
I mean,
you're asking a lot of questions. I'm just saying, it's pretty much the same thing. They just call it differently because they're a different type of organization. They're not a for-profit.
Right.
For-profits offer companies a 401k,
Definitely.
where a nonprofit offers a 403b. And that's as intelligent as I can talk about a 403b, because really, I'm still learning about, the stock market. Oh, we got calls coming in.
got calls coming in and crazy.
We said stock market. They're like, oh my God.
Stock
there's
market.
money. There's
People
money.
want to call and start talking about money already. You know.
Seriously.
But listen, callers, we're gonna take you. We might take you in a minute. Yeah. We're gonna just enlighten a little bit on this this background picture. So, we was out there in the rain last night, taking pictures of the bull. I just felt like I just had to find it last night, and we found it. And we found another significant thing out there, which is this fearless girl.
Yes.
So in New York, in the stock exchange area, they call this the fearless girl. And what do they mean by the fearless girl? Is like empowering women in business and stock market.
That's what's up.
Saying that giving women chances to work in high selective jobs in the stock market. For them to make money too.
Reach.
It's the whole thing of women empowerment. And this lady, I mean, the statue came up in March 17th of 2017.
That's
and basically what happened is she put it in front of the bull. This was the picture right there in the background is where she put it at first. But, women got a little mad with that because they're like, oh, why is she in front of the bull? Why is she about to get ran over by the bull?
Yeah.
So
perspective is something else, man.
Yeah. So, that went crazy and everything. But, so they moved it in front of the stock exchange. And basically it symbolizes a fearless girl that has no fear and basically sitting there with her chest out and the wind's blowing in her hair. And she's just like sitting there, arms out like.
I have a picture with her, man.
Like, come get me.
Yes.
I don't care what you bring at me.
Yes.
I'm powerful. I'm woman. I'm feminine. Just come get me.
I wish you would.
So, I kind of felt that, and I wanted to touch on that, you know what I mean? And that's basically where we're at right there. But stock market is a huge organism.
But I love that you brought that up. Like you legit did some homework on that, and you're talking about woman empowerment. Like I respect that. Thank you,
Yes,
Dr. J.
I mean, I love women empowerment because I had a business and I had all women working for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like women work harder than men. They take more pride.
About to get
You know what I mean? So whatever. Y'all men want to chime in, y'all want to call in. 959-910-1547. We're not taking calls right now, but we will put you in the back door, so we will take questions after.
Back door?
Yeah.
Not
in that back door.
Not in my back door.
But we out here on Wall Street. Yeah. I just felt that we had to do something on Wall Street. Wall Street, we got, it's crazy. In Brooklyn, they got the Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
My boy said he wanted me to touch on the Black Wall Street. So you got the Black Wall Street and you got the White Wall Street, or what they call it. The black versus the white and the white versus the black. Yeah. But they don't have a black actual stock exchange over there in Brooklyn. But they have an empowerment thing going over there with Black Wall Street. Black people succeeding in business and this and that and everything else. But we won't touch too far on that. But just to let you know, we're not professionals in the stock market. We're not financial advisors or nothing like that. We just basically felt like we had to come on here and talk about a few things about the stock market.
And if there's people out there that want to learn more, like the internet could be your best friend.
Right.
Want to learn how to invest in money? Like we could talk about that. Like I have some questions for you. Like you initiated this particular conversation, this topic about stock exchange. So I imagine that you have some education around this topic, and I want to know, where do you have your stocks?
Listen,
Where did you buy?
I'm gonna tell you like this: you win some and you lose some in the stock market.
Facts. I've seen sometimes 3B. Facts.
Sometimes you lose more than you win, but when you win, it's such a high when you win, and it's basically like a sophisticated gambling.
Yeah.
What I mean? It's not like gambling at the casino or anything like that. It's basically like sophisticated gambling.
Yeah.
You really gotta, hone your craft. You really gotta you have to come up with your own strategy. You can't go with somebody else's strategy.
Right.
You gotta go in with your own strategy.
And there's risk involved.
There's plenty of risk.
So the more risk you take, you get more money.
Right? It's a risk reward thing. The more risk, the more reward. Okay. And then sometimes the more risk, the less reward, but you really have to study your craft. It's not something, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not something that you're just going to jump in there and you think you're going to make $1 million. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now, because there's plenty of platforms that will take your money, and there's plenty of platforms that will take all your money. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what you're doing, and you can get into a stock and not really know what you're doing. Yeah. So are we
going to share with the audience what's the best option?
We're gonna get into that a little bit. Like I said, we're not gonna get in too in depth about that. You know what I'm saying?
Because we're not professionals.
We're not professionals. Stocks.
Yeah.
So basically, now let's get back on that bull right there. I'm gonna tell you a fun fact.
Bull, on the bullshit, on your bullshit.
No,
you should see the shenanigans up in here with the bullshit that Dr. J was giving me. First of all, can we get you? That's the scope. I can't even say it because I'm Latina. There's certain words I can. That's a scope.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to spell it.
So the stethoscope. Should I get into my Dr. J mode? Oh, my bad. All right. So before I talk about anything, I got to put my stethoscope on to get into the Dr. J mode.
Yo, can we see if you even got a heartbeat?
I don't even know. Hold on. Did I put it over here? What I do? No. So, yeah. So basically, so we're gonna touch a few points. We're gonna touch about what kind of stocks is out there to invest in. We're gonna talk about the platforms out there.
Yes.
We're gonna talk a little bit about what I do as far as when I go into stocks and how I do stocks and everything, and what I touch on. But it's just there's a few things. I mean, my thing is like this: savers are losers, cash is trash.
Yes, I've heard that.
You know what I mean?
I've heard that.
And then what I mean by that, savers are losers, cash is trash. Now I'm gonna touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
because right now, by you saving money, okay, you're saving money. All right, you got your money into a bank account.
Yeah.
All right, your bank accounts, you're probably making we're going to go on a yearly basis. You're probably making like maybe 1 to 2% on your money, maybe if that per year.
You might as well put it in a mattress.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said savers are losers. Cash is trash, and having cash in your mattress is trash because in your mattress it's not building nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So savers are losers, cash is trash. So where else do you want to put it at? You want to put it in the stock market. So the stock market over the years has guaranteed to be a 10% increase every single year. If you have your stocks in the right places.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So 10% having 10% is better than having no percent where it's under the mattress, or having 1.1 or whatever they do, 0.08, having it in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really put money in the bank. Basically, all my money is in stocks, and I'm a mattress guy, so I keep money in the mattress and stuff like that. So I keep money.
I need your address.
I basically keep money in the mattress, so when it's time. I got that coffee can in the backyard, so when y'all come looking for the mattress, it's not in the mattress; it's in the coffee can in the backyard.
We're gonna find out where you live in Connecticut, Dr. J. Listen, let's talk about like the type of stocks that there is. So,
yeah.
So there's like individual stocks, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. There's the mutual funds.
Yeah.
They're the index funds.
Yeah.
The exchange trade funds.
Yeah.
And then the REITs.
Yep. The real estate funds and stuff like that.
I know you're gonna like that one because you do real estate.
I'm into real estate and everything about that. And the stock market really breaks down into like categories and sectors. You got stock sectors. So I'm gonna just go over a few of them. Oh, we got callers calling in. All right, call. We'll hit you back.
Let's take a call.
We don't want to take no call from no bill collector though. You know what I'm saying?
Why you got a bill? Oh,
that guy been calling me right there. He been listen. I started a business 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I swear, half of these phone calls that come through are guys trying to offer me money.
This is Breezy.
This is for my business, Breezy Freight Movement. I own a trucking company as well. But and we're gonna talk about entrepreneurship in another thing, because that's a broad subject and we got a lot to talk about in that. But I have this business open for 2 years. Hate to get off topic a little bit, but I'm at my 2 years and about 2 months. About 2 years and 2 months into the business, about that, man. And at that 2 year mark, I have people like calling me every single day. I get 10 calls a day with guys and people offer me money.
Listen, and I believe that because we were driving out here. So it was like from Connecticut to New York is probably maybe a 2-hour drive, an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
Dr. J's phone was ringing off the hook, and I was seeing like the financial names. I won't mention them, but they were like, I was like, yo, like, can we answer a call and see what we can get?
That's what
like,
I'm saying. It's like crazy. All the big companies. I got Discover trying to offer me money.
Chase.
I got Chase. We got Capital One. We got all these people from New York trying to offer me money. And it's the thing is like this. It's basically, they'll keep calling, and it's crazy that I gave them my number. I've had this same number for probably almost 20 years.
Oh my God.
20
years?
Seriously.
Woo.
Haven't changed numbers in a long time. So if you know me 20 years ago, you can still reach me.
Oh my God. He's got all the exes calling in.
You know what I'm saying? They still call. They wake up and like,
J,
let me call Dr. J House call, see what he's doing.
Let me see what he's doing tonight.
19 years ago, you still calling to see what's going on.
Yo. Woo.
So yeah, let's get back to as far as what we're talking about now. Stock exchange.
Yeah.
There's sectors in stocks. There's energy.
Yes.
That means oil, gas, coal, fuel. There's material. Now material is like chemicals, metal, paper, gold, silver, and stuff like that. And if you really want to go into it, you got industrial.
Yes.
That means like defense, aerospace, manufacturing.
Yeah.
Then number 4, you got consumer discrepancies.
Yeah.
Discretionaries. Like appraisal, household goods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then you got consumer staples like food and beverages. Food and beverages is big in the stock market.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorites is healthcare.
Yeah, I was just about to say healthcare.
Yeah, one of my favorites is healthcare. I'm telling you like this: healthcare is where I've made all my money at. All right. So healthcare is like, equipment, FDA approvals, COVID vaccines. When the COVID vaccine was popping at that time, I mean, there was all kinds of money in the COVID vaccines because the vaccine hasn't came out yet. So you can bet, one company will be like, I just got my FDA approval. Oh, the stock goes up. We're gonna talk about that a little bit, but we're gonna get through these. So number 7 is financials, like banks. I made some money on banks because back when the market crashed, the banks, a couple banks were giving money out and the interest rates were going crazy. So you got that. You got information technology, internet, software, Tesla. I got my Tesla shirt on right now. Won some money in Tesla a few years ago. Basically, then you got telecommunications like Verizon, AT&T, Apple, stuff like that. Then you got utilities, electric, gas, water companies and stuff like that. And 11, you got real estate. Like Miss Lottie was talking about the RETIs. You got those. Then those are apartments, malls, and offices. Stuff like that. But all these stocks right there, those are all the sectors of where you can invest your money at. So to really capitalize on the game, you really can't go into all sectors. You gotta really hone in on 1 or 2 sectors. I usually go around healthcare and I do a little bit of real estate, but
because that's where you find most of your money.
Because I mean I bought and sold houses, flip houses, so real estate is my thing. I know real estate. And then healthcare. I mean, I really don't know healthcare, but I know the benefits of healthcare. When COVID came out, that's when the healthcare thing was just booming. So it was like it was right in my face. So it was like, damn, I got to do with it. You know what I mean? So you got to go into that. So those are your 11 sectors of that. And it's like you really. I mean, the stock market is so broad and so many different channels. You really can't go into everything as far as live trading and stuff like that and everything else. But
right. So risk is a point of investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Risk is just, I mean, there's different kind of risk. There's risk going into, I mean, let me educate you a little bit on when you're going into a stock, when you're buying a stock. There's 2 sides of a stock. There's the upswing of a stock, and then there's the downswing of a stock. So some people call it basically you go into a stock, you buy in. When you buy in the stock market may move up, and then you buy out of it, and then it goes down. So stock markets is like I'll say you fill a bowl of water up, and then you have a little boat in it. You pour water into it.
Okay.
The boat goes up, right?
Okay.
You take the water out, the boat goes down.
Okay.
So that's how stock really goes. Buyers go in, they make the stock go up. Buyers come out, and make the stock goes down. So you really got to sit back there and really watch these things. And there's a couple different platforms out there that you could go on and go into these things. But
and what are those platforms? He's like, hold on a minute.
So
don't rush
so
it.
you got so as far as like researching them, you can research on FinViz. There's FinViz, there's Yahoo Finance, there's Benzinga, which is one of my favorites that I go into. Stocks to trade. There's TD Ameritrade, there's E-Trade, there's Robinhood. There's all kinds of.
I got Robinhood. I'm gonna have you look at my Robinhood.
And then there's another aspect of it as far as like crypto. You can go into crypto. But there's so many different areas that you could get really overwhelmed with it. So you kind of got to hone into one. If you're going out there and you're trying to invest into the stock market, we're going to touch about really going into trades, live trades and everything in another time now. But we're just basically touching the ground floor for beginners on where you can really get your education at and where you could go and maybe educate yourself and start on. I mean, YouTube is like YouTube University.
I hear that a lot. So I hear that like newbies should go into common shares.
Yeah, common shares is basically like you're going into like a company has a market cap.
Yeah.
Companies have market cap. Market cap is like how many shares of stock that the company has at a certain time, and how many stocks that they're basically trading at one time, you know.
Yeah.
So
So like a large company, a large cap would be like shares that are outstanding, like on the like 10 billion mark.
right.
Yeah.
I mean that's the whole thing is like let's touch on market cap a little bit because you got to know about market cap. So market cap could be, you say you got like 4 pieces of the pie.
Yeah.
Okay, you got 4 pieces of pie. Now you buy 1 piece of that pie. Now you have 1 piece of their shares. You know, so basically when you go into that, so you got a piece of that market cap. So basically that market cap is all the shares that they have in the pie. So say they got four shares of 4 shares and 4 like say 4 million of market cap. You only buy 1 million. Now you have 1/4 of their market cap. So basically the market cap can go up and down.
Yeah.
Market cap goes up, market cap goes down. And you know, I don't really get into, I mean, I get into market cap, but I really don't touch market cap too much because, you know, a lot of the investors in the company, you know, they buy into their own stock and they have their own little piece. So when the stocks start really moving and bouncing up and down, you know, they throw their piece, they throw their money back in there, they throw their shares back in there to make money off of it, and then pull it right back out to make that money and make the market cap go up. So I really don't go with market cap too much. I really don't look into that. Like I said, you have to find your own niche.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to really educate yourself. Me, I'm not 100% on all of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know where to go.
We're not experts, but what I like about stock is like, and you find this like more on like the large cap that they offer dividends.
Yes.
And I like that.
Yes.
Dividends is basically like you get a continuing monies check.
Right.
You get the refund.
right. But that like, and that's not like I mean, if you go into like dividends and stuff like that, there's another, you know, you got dividends, you got options, you got all kinds of other stuff. I mean, the stock market is just crazy. So don't try to educate yourself on the whole stock market, you know, because you're just going to get overwhelmed, and then you're going to just get in there and you're going to just try to trade, and then you're going to lose money. You know what I mean?
If you hate math like me, you're gonna be like, wait, what does this mean?
And it's really like you ain't got to be a real mathematician to really go into stocks. So it's like it's basically like a pattern. You know, you got the candlesticks that go up and down. You got what is, you know, what the basically what the stock came in at, what it opened at. Yeah. Now we're right down the street from the stock market. The stock market already open. It opens up at 9:30 every single day.
Yeah.
Opens up at 9:30 and goes to 4 every single day. So from 9:30 to 4, the stock market just goes crazy, and guys is running around, you know, with tickets and everything, and putting this money on this, putting money on this, putting money on this. It's like crazy.
Should we go down there today?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Let's do it.
But it's crazy down there right now at this time. You know, stock market's open from Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You know, the pre-market. I get into the pre-market stuff. So pre-market, you look into your stuff. My favorite platform, I'm gonna let you know, my favorite platform is TD Ameritrade.
Tell us about it.
So TD Ameritrade is basically, it has a place in there where you can look at like all the winners for the day before, all the losers from the day before, all the, you know, the volume, the top volume, the lowest volume, you know, who lost the most money that day, who won the most money that day. You know, you got the winners and losers. Yeah. So basically a stock, when a stock starts to win, you know, it's like a catalyst. And for y'all don't know what a catalyst is. A catalyst is what makes something happen. You know, say like a few years ago, Donald Trump like said something on the news about Tesla or something like that, or said something about one stock, and the stock moved up crazy and went up like $2, $3, $4 in like 20 minutes because the president said something about it. And the crazy thing is an influential person can basically tell, like, say a star says something about a stock, that stock will go up. Yeah. So that's how stocks move and bounce, by people saying things about them, like things happening about them, maybe a new contract, maybe a new manager, maybe somebody, they change ownerships from a company that used to make millions of dollars. Another call coming in. More financial.
Just pick it up. See what happens.
You want to get the financial person online?
Just get them online. online.
Yo,
Yo, that would be fun. Get
that'll
them
be
online.
fun.
The
So
next, yo, the
we'll
next
take
call.
we'll
The
take the
call,
next
just
one.
take it. To
So
be like, hello, Dr. J. So we have this offer here for. We just gotta just put it on there. I think it would be fun.
we're gonna see what's going on in that next one. So that's funny. So companies really offer stocks so they can pay off debts
Yeah.
and offer stocks to people that so they can make money and
Or if,
basically
or if they have like a special project.
yes they have like a special project or there could be a stock out in the middle of a cornfield somewhere that guy is a little. I mean, if you really want to look at stocks, I mean, there's a few choice movies out there like Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street really wasn't too much about stocks, but it was about calling people and offering people stocks and trying to get them to buy into what the company's all about.
Okay.
And this company is a shack out in the middle of a cornfield. You know what I mean? It's about how much you sell that stock. So you can be tricked in stocks. So don't be tricked about all stocks, man. Just educate yourself.
You got to do homework to find out, like,
you got to do your homework.
How the company is doing financially.
Yes.
What their
yes.
what their bills are.
Yes.
What are they investing in?
Yes.
Are they a stable company? How long they have been in business, and then you make that decision.
How good the manager is to the company.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Are they financially secure?
Right.
That's the whole thing.
What's their debt ratio, basically?
So like debt ratio. I'm gonna talk about a few things what you have to check out before you invest. Before you invest is basically you got to look at their balance sheet. You got to look at their assets and how they're doing and how they pay their bills. You got to look at the income statements, their net income, what are they getting from that, stuff like that. You got to look into their cash flow. How much cash flow do they have coming into the business? That's the really brains of, going into a stock, looking into cash flow and assets and, and all this is on FinViz.
Yeah.
You can look at Yahoo Finance. Yeah. You can put in, and, when you go into the stock, you basically look at tickers. They call tickers. Yeah. The tickers could be 4 letters. It could be 2 letters. And that's basically the abbreviation of the company.
Okay.
So you got to look at tickers. I mean, I back in I started trading stocks back in 2017. Okay. In 2017, I started trading stocks because, I bought my first Tesla. So when you buy a Tesla back then, you would get some stock in Tesla.
Oh, that's dope.
So I bought.
No wonder you ride for Tesla.
Yeah. So I ride out for Tesla. I'm on my second Tesla right now. Yeah. But basically, when I bought it, I bought into the stock, and it was at 100 and I think it was at $189 a share. Yeah. So I didn't go crazy. I bought like 10 shares of it. Okay. But good. that went up to $2,000 a share.
Oh man.
Yeah. And in the stock game, when a stock goes up to $2,000 a share, I mean, you have a choice. You have a choice to either cash out or keep riding the wave. Yeah. Me, I cashed out because it went up. It went up so much. I was like, I'm gonna cash out because they was talking about reverse splitting.
Oh, okay.
Now, reverse split is a whole different variation of it. I'm not gonna get into that. If you want to get into that, comment on there, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about that on another topic, on another show. But reverse split, just to touch on that a little bit, is when a company basically sells off and they split and they try to go two different ways and try to make money on 2 different stocks. Okay. You know what I mean? They split their stock and they're over here and then I got a piece over here and I'm trying to make money on both of them, double the money. And sometimes it reverses. And then you lose. So every time by being in the stock game and when it reverse split, I always get out, because you stay in there and then your stock price goes down, or your stock price could go up.
Oh, I like when it goes up.
You know what I mean? Pause. But anyway,
y'all know I'm a comedian. Yeah. Can't help myself.
But for those who want to just begin and trick a little bit, EFTs is basically like a kind of low risk stocks. Okay. If you want to really exchange and really get into the stock,
saying they should go for that. Okay,
they should go into that. And I live or die by, like, when I first started, I found this platform. It's called Acorns.
Acorns, okay.
So Acorns, I mean, squirrels, they produce, they don't produce, but they take a lot of acorns and they store them for the winter. What I'm saying? So that's what they get from acorns. So basically, acorns is like a a really exchange where you can go in there, you can have money taken out of your account every Monday, Tuesday, or every Friday, take a certain piece. And what AFT is basically you can buy a piece of like Apple or buy a piece of like Microsoft, and you can be fully invested in that. You can make a piece of it, but you won't have to buy it Apple right now is, I think it's like at $200 something a share, but you can get in it for a little piece and get a little bottom of it by going into acorns, and you can make a little bit of money on that. You know what I mean?
Can we answer that? Answer it.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Hello. Hello. Oh, see, when I'm ready, they're not ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
You never know.
It's like when they don't really hear you, they like, is this James Clinton? So so the stock market, the long game, short game. The long game is basically like mutual funds, mutual funds, Roth, IRAs, retirement, 401k, 403, whatever the
403B.
403B.
You never work for a nonprofit, huh?
No.
He's like, I want the for-profit.
I want the for-profit. You know what I mean? But yeah, those are your long
nonprofits.
games. Short game is like day trading. Day trading is where I'm at and where I did. So I'm gonna tell you about a trade that I had. This is a black-owned bank out in Atlanta, and I don't remember the ticker, but I remember the day. I was working in the dealership, and I was on the way into work. I was on the way into work, and basically, I look at the tickers and everything on the way to work. And TD Ameritrade, that's my thing. Shout out to TD Ameritrade. I made a lot of money off you guys. You can day trade with them. That's one of my platforms. If you really want to get into day trading, I think TD Ameritrade is like the easiest way to get into it. But start with acorns. Start investing in the money and putting your money in there and letting it take out your roundups. You put your card in there. Whenever you use your debit card, it rounds up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it takes that little bit of change and it rounds up and invests that into that. We can talk about a little bit about that on a later date. But I'm gonna tell you about this trade, and then we're gonna kind of finish up a little bit on that. Basically, this trade, I don't remember the ticker because there's so many of them. I invested in weed stocks. I invested in all kinds of stock, healthcare, all types of stuff. But
stocks, okay.
yeah, there's stock about weed. Well, like all the dispensaries was coming out.
Yeah.
They have their own ticker, and it depended on which one got their go first.
Okay.
And every time they get their go, they sign a contract. The stock goes up. Catalyst. So every time a stock goes up, you got to jump in there because they usually run for like 1 to 2 days. So basically, in the pre-market starts early as 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm not up. I mean, there was another trade platform that trades at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's called Net Zero. So if you really want to get into 24-hour trading, you can get into Net Zero. Basically, Net Zero is basically they charge you nothing for it, but it's just crazy.
I've heard of Net Zero. Good.
It's just crazy. So basically, I started at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I my thing is basically my setup is I basically always look at what's happening the day before, or what's the highest volume at the point at 7 a.m. in the morning. That's like my strategy. I look at what's the volatility, who has the most volume, what's the sizzling stock, who lost yesterday, and who wins yesterday. The top 10 winners from yesterday and the top 10 losers from yesterday.
So what you're saying is that you're a man that does his homework.
Of course, you have to.
Homework.
You have to.
Okay.
So I looked on the top 10 winners. And then you look on the volume. So when the volume starts to go up, that means people are starting to buy into it early.
Right.
So when the volume goes up in the stock, those are the kind of stocks I look at because I'm a penny stock trader. I don't, and you can get into stocks with just $100.
Okay.
You ain't got to have.
Is that what pennies mean? Yeah. Okay.
So you don't have to have millions of dollars or thousands of dollars to get in stock. You can bring. I know guys that mentored me basically brought $100 up to $1 million.
Oh.
You know what I mean? 1,500 up to 3 million.
Ooh, can we Talk
I
about
have a
that.
few. I have a few
Can you-
mentors.
Can you,
One of them, I'm gonna tell you
maybe
about one
my
of them.
mentor? Shoot.
One guy on there is, you can look him up on the line. His name is Tim Grattani.
All right.
He's a young kid, young college kid. He started out with $1,500 and turned it into $3 million.
All right.
So
So I need to talk to him.
yeah, so you can always go online and find your mentor when it comes to these stocks. But let's get back to that trade. So basically, the trade was moving early, and I seen it there. And I mean, the trade was, I think it was at like 89 cents. So it started at 89 cents. So being a stock that's 89 cents, I went in hard, and I bought 1,000 shares of it.
He said he went in hard.
Real hard. But anyway, so I went in with 1,000 shares. So basically 1,000 shares of that company. I bought into that company.
Yeah.
I really didn't study the company so much, but I looked at the notes and I looked at what they did a year ago, and what happens, because one thing about stocks, they always repeat itself.
Okay.
So if you look back into it, and if they spiked last year, and spike means basically when the stock goes up.
Okay.
So if they spiked last year, they're going to spike this year at the same time or around the same time.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
So that's good material, and we'll get on that on another thing. So this stock really they spiked last year around the same time, but this year they spiked because everybody was in the COVID thing, and everybody was losing their jobs and everything, and everybody was trying to get loans from the bank. So they spiked last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this year I was thinking they was going to spike again, but because of COVID, they spiked even harder.
Really?
So I got into this stock. I got into this stock early, and basically around, and I watched it. It was moving a little bit, but when that stock came in at 9:30, when the market rang, that stock moved up probably to $4 a share.
And you were happy you were involved.
And I was there.
Nice.
And by about 10:30, that stock, I was up probably about $5,000.
Oh my God.
So at this point,
and what did you invest?
I invested 1,000.
Okay.
So I was up 5,000 plus my 1,000.
Okay.
So at this point is where you win or lose. You know what I'm saying? Because that stock could quickly go right back down. You lose your whole 5,000 in 5 minutes. That's the problem with stock market. So at this point, I was like, I being in the stock market, I just took my wins. I was like, $5,000. I haven't even punched into work yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going into work to make maybe 500 to 600, maybe 1,000, maybe that, if possible. But to have 5,000 already and I haven't even punched in yet, I was satisfied with that.
Yeah, I would agree too.
I was good. So, I was going around with dealership, bragging and everything. Boom, boom, boom. Closed out the stock, shut it down. Because there's days that I've got into a stock, then I basically let it run, and I forgot to go in there and close it out.
Ooh.
And I would lose. You know what I'm saying? So this was one of those stocks I was on it. I was like, yes, $5,000. I'm good. Went out of there. So, lunchtime came around. And that's when stocks really kind of settled down a little bit. But around 1:30, they start to ramp back up. So, I had a customer, and I couldn't really look back into it. So about 1:30, I looked back into the stock. It kind of gives me anxiety right now, just looking at it and just thinking about it right now.
You need some Reiki?
I might need some Reiki. But this stock, if I would have stayed in, and this is true fact, if I would have stayed in, I would have won $129,000.
Oh my God.
I almost fell back in my chair and had a heart attack.
A little tear came down.
Because the day I was conservative and not looking at it, I lose. But I didn't lose. But I lost a chance of making $120,000. This stock ran up to almost $34.
Man.
Coming from 89 cents.
Same.
So that's how the stock market goes. There's winners. Believe it or not, there's winners in the stock market every single day. That's how people make money on it. Something is going to run every single day. So, keep that in mind. When you go into stocks and everything. But if you really want to learn about stocks, comment a little bit. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I know a lot, and I can turn you into the right avenues and get you on with a guy that'll mentor you and tell you a little bit about it. I haven't really messed with stocks in a couple months, but I got something in crypto right now. Like I'm into Shiba right now. I won $5,000 on Shiba when that went up. I'm on Shiba right now, and they're basically like 5 zeros back. So if that hits a penny right
no
now,
wonder you paid for lunch yesterday.
that's crazy. So if that hits 1 penny right now, I mean, I have 140 million shares of Sheba.
Wow.
You know how much that cost me?
How much?
$5,000 for 140 million shares. That was the $5,000 that I won on it a few months back, but I put it back in.
Okay.
You know, so because I thought it was going to run again, but you know, it didn't run again. It tanked.
Yeah.
And it's been tanking since then.
It's a risk you take when you buy stocks, right?
Well, you know, the thing is like this. Okay, I'm down like $4,000 right now in that stock.
Okay.
But I'm really not down 4,000 because I won already.
Yeah.
But the thing about stocks is if I pull out right now, the 1,600 that's in there right now, you know, I have a problem pulling out of the garage, just to let you know. But we won't talk about that.
Listen, I'm a comedian, so, and I'm a little raunchy, so, you know, he says certain things, and I'm like, wait, let's talk about that. All right, focus.
Focus, man.
Take a sip of that cappuccino martini.
See, I already forgot where I was at. You got me on a whole nother side.
I'll be doing that. That's why I'm a comedian.
You know, so, but yeah, so basically, stocks.
Yes.
I mean, stocks there's risk and reward. You know, there's risk and reward. There's risk and reward.
Yes.
And you have to watch them. I mean, you can't just trickle in and just think you're gonna win big money. You got to educate yourself.
Yes.
And you know, I gave you a couple platforms. Like one of mine is Bazinga, FinViz, Yahoo Finance. There's plenty others out there, but those are the ones that I use.
Okay.
And if you really want to get into it, if you want to start trickling into it, look up your Acorns. And I should get paid for advertising Acorns, but you know, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Maybe we'll get a little bit of payment. Subscribe and tell a friend to subscribe.
Yeah.
And just share.
You know, that's basically affiliated marketing. I'm marketing for an affiliate company right now, and we'll get into that when we talk about entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
This is
so-
Miss Lottie.
And this is Dr. J House Call, and
We're
you know, we're here in Wall Street.
And we're talking about it. We're talking about the stock exchange.
The stock
We're
exchange.
not professionals. We're just like talking about it.
Yeah, it's just talking about it. You know,
The
just the
full
ins and outs of
line.
it. I just gave you basically like the first piece of the onion
Yes.
that you can just keep peeling off. And if you keep peeling off and you keep peeling off, you can't cry sometimes in the stock market. So don't invest all your money. Don't go out there. We're not telling you to go invest all your money and put all your money in stock game just off of what we just told you today.
Yes.
But listen, educate yourself first. Look into these platforms. You know, this is all knowledge that we're telling you. You know, I might have been wrong and right about some things. I'm not a professional, but I know what I do and what I went in there to win money on. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we're basically talking based on experience and what has worked for Dr. J, what has worked for me. I am still learning. Okay, take that call. Let's just take that call.
Hold on. Let's see what this is. Hold on. Hello. Hello.
Hello, this is Joe. Yes, this is Joseph Knowles from U.S. Customs and Border Protection. How are you doing today?
Who's this?
Hello.
Who's this? See what happened? He felt he was on air.
He was like,
he's like, hold up, I hear myself calling.
Like, don't think nothing.
Don't think nothing.
Don't think nothing. He did have an Indian accent.
Listen, all these guys that call, they always have an Indian accent or something like that. You know what I mean? All day long. It's like I want to change my number, but I can't change my number. Dr. Dre. No, Dr. J, did you want this 10,000? We have 10,000 right now that we can put in your bank right now.
Yo, that sounded like a Puerto Rican accent.
Right now. You got Puerto Rican, you got this. Dr. Dre.
Dr. J.
Yeah.
I love all.
I love all.
That. I'm a comedian, so I'm gonna make fun.
So listen, we're gonna get out of here. You know, another episode in the books. Wall Street.
Let's
You know,
talk about
if you want to know a little bit about that, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. You know, remember Thursday nights we're in New London, Connecticut on 92.9 WDUP.
Yes,
Let's talk about it goes live.
Yes, it's so much fun. We
Oh
go
my God.
live. The owner of 92.9 shows up, right? And he does the engineering. And our last show, he was like, I'm not going to say anything. And he couldn't resist.
Couldn't
But
resist.
it was fun. I love having
Yeah.
Mike on the show.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's a good time. It's a good time. But
Mhm.
listen, you got to tune in. You
Got
know,
to tune in. I
every
mean,
Thursday at 9 o'clock at 92.9.
I think he said approximately.
Approximately. Yeah, that's not true. That's
And we
not
got a fresh new jingle too that we're gonna
yeah,
air
you've
too.
gotta tune in.
Oh my God, you gotta
Please.
hear
It's
that.
so dope.
Oh, listen, we went in
not
on
saying,
this one.
I'm not saying that I was rapping, but
Yo,
Lottie Dottie,
Miss
she
Lottie,
likes to party.
Miss Lottie did her debut in the rap game.
Listen.
First time in the studio,
Oh my God,
behind
I'm
the earphone.
so excited.
You know what I mean? Out in New York, you know. So we went out to New York. We did a few things out here, but we had to go by Wall Street. There's one thing I always wanted to go. I've been there before, but I wanted to take Lottie down there so she could see the bull and see what it really, what it's really all about.
Yeah.
So.
And we were in the so when we were in the studio, we actually were hanging out with Sonny G.
Yes.
And Sonny G has a podcast, and we go to do this recording, and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to film my podcast. You want to be a part of it?" I was like, "Well, hell yeah!"
Okay, and then we was right in on that podcast.
I know, that was so much fun.
But
I love
there's
New
another
York.
guy. Shout out to Sonny Clarkston.
Yes.
Basically the engineer over there. He's big time producer over there. I mean, he works with Dre. Works with a couple guys, Migos
Isaac,
and stuff like that. I mean, he has some big time guys coming through there, and it was crazy. That was
dope studio, man.
That's crazy, man.
It's like, oh my God.
That studio had to be, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 studio.
And they're like the hostess with the mostest. The moment, like they met us right at the door.
Yep.
They offer us immediately something to drink.
Yep.
We did the podcast, and
Yep.
they immediately asked us for something, or they offer something to drink. They
Yeah.
had prosecco. I was like, how did they know I'm a prosecco goer?
Yeah.
Before,
Right
besides
off
a
rip,
martini,
man. Next
like
thing we toasted prosecco and
Yeah.
everything like that. So
they're dope
that
over
was
there. I
pretty
love it.
straight, man.
Yeah.
I love coming to New York because New York just have so many avenues, so many hole in the walls, and this place literally looked like it was.
It wasn't
nothing
a hole in
from
the
outside.
wall, but from the outside, you
From the
don't
outside,
know.
it's
You
like,
go in
okay.
and you're like, yo,
You got
this
one
is-
door
this
and you got
is-
a ringer.
Yeah,
It's like,
no,
okay,
it was
what
dope
we
inside.
at? What we going into?
So professional,
Oh,
so
yeah.
well lit, so
Yes.
it was on point. I love it. I love New York.
Shout out to
I really
Sonny
love
Clarkson.
New York. Sonny Clarkson. What's up?
So, yeah, so we're gonna end this off. Another episode of Dr. J House Call.
And Miss Lottie, we're here from Let's Talk About It, the 411.
Yes, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're out.